And I knew in that moment I have to use that time deliberately. I had to sit and think, knowing this person was going to come and pack orders for 3 hours. What will I do with those 3 hours that will be a payoff financially for my business that makes paying her for 3 hours worthwhile? Hey, welcome to Aussie Online Growing on Shopify. This is episode 121 and it's called the $100 an hour shift. Stop wasting time and start growing your business. This episode is going to be about income generating activities for your e-commerce store. So let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like you're always busy in your business, but somehow your revenue stays the same? And you don't feel like you're actually growing, but you are busy. So it's not like you're got heaps of time, left at the end of the day, but you just don't understand why things aren't growing. A few months ago, I sort of realized that I was spending far too much time packing orders, and I really needed to spend more of my time on income generating activities, those CEO tasks that make me $100 an hour. That is not packing an order, but I need to be doing other things to be not busy, but building instead. So maybe you feel like you are busy and not building, then this episode is for you. I'm going to show you how to sort of shift from the busy mindset to the building mindset and help you focus on income generating activities that actually grow your revenue. And I hope you walk away knowing what to prioritize in your business today and tomorrow and next week, and make some small changes that can really give you some big results. In this plan, I want to identify for you what's really making your e-commerce store, your Shopify store money, and where you might be spending some time on the wrong things that aren't actually income generating, that aren't actually leading you towards growing. They're busy things, but they're not building things. So we're going to look at some simple shifts about how you can get some more sales soon by focusing on some activities that will get you some more revenue. Do you know there's a difference between busy and income generating? And I know that as well as you guys do. And I don't know that it matters how long you've even been in business for, or how long you've even been trying to grow an online business for. I think many business owners, we probably all get stuck in this between busy and income generating, or between busy and building. Do you know, I did a podcast episode. It's my podcast episode number 10. So over 100 episodes ago, my episode 10 in 2022, and it was called something like, let me check. It was called How to Make Quick Revenue, the next hole on your golf course. Episode 10, when I recorded it in 2022, was all about quick wins in revenue. Imagine you're playing a game of golf. Where is the next hole that you can just putt that golf ball into that translates to a sale? That's like, cha-ching, you banked some revenue. Not looking at the whole golf course and how to win the whole game, not a strategy about where to go back to hole one and start there. But if you are looking for some quick wins in revenue, what's the next hole on the golf course that's closest to you? Where are you on the golf course, and what's a hole you can easily putt a ball into to get some revenue for your business today? My episode 10 on my podcast, which was forever ago, was all about that very idea of, if you are feeling like you need some revenue in your business today, what is the hole on the golf course that you are closest to? Like I said, I'm not looking at the whole golf course as a giant, big, lifelong business growing venture and how to win the whole game of business. Just what hole are you next to that you can putt a ball into with as minimal effort as possible, that will get you some revenue today, that will help you see your Shopify dashboard light up today. That was episode 10. And I feel a little bit like this episode is similar in some sense. Like, what is some income generating activities in your business that you should be spending time on that maybe you are not? And if you've been in business for a long time and you need support with this, then you actually just need the time back. It's not like you lack the skills or the knowledge or the drive or the passion. You just need the time. You need another person to do this thing for you, to take on this project for you, which is what I do with small businesses and my clients. I look after their Facebook ads and their email marketing for just that very thing. And I'm going to give you an example for my own e-commerce store recently, which was having somebody help me pack some orders. So like I said in the intro, the last few months I have found I'm spending more time on packing orders, which happens as the business grows, but that's not going to help me continue to grow. That's not an income generating activity for me to pack orders. I need somebody to do that for me so I can spend that time doing something that will get me $100 back per hour, and somebody else is doing something that needs to be done. These things are not unimportant. This episode is not about work that's important versus unimportant. It's about work that's busy versus building, work that's busy versus income generating. What work should you be doing in your business today that's income generating versus busy work? So let's try and shift our mindset today and reclaim some of our time back intentionally. Having somebody pack orders for me for 3 hours, when I sort of sat down and thought about this as a topic for this episode, that 3 hours she was packing orders for me. And I knew in that moment I have to use that time deliberately. I had to sit and think, knowing this person was going to come and pack orders for 3 hours. What will I do with those 3 hours that will be a payoff financially for my business that makes paying her for 3 hours worthwhile? That's the $100 an hour type tasks. What should I sit and do invariably at my desk, at my computer, for those 3 hours? That means those 3 hours having someone paid to do pack orders for me was worthwhile. And if you don't have staff, like I don't have staff, this is all very new for me. I'm trying to learn this mindset. I need to get into this mindset for myself. And maybe you are at a place in your business where you need to do the same. Because if you are spending a lot of your time on busy things in your business that are important, because people try not to get too caught up with me saying things are busy, which means they're not important. The opposite of that is true. Answering customer service emails promptly and in a friendly manner and professionally is critical. It's not just important, it's critical. This work is not unimportant, but it's busy work. We need to have some really tight guidelines around the time we are going to spend on this sort of work. And if you love to time block, then you'll love this concept. You probably do this a lot already. I try and time block a little bit. Let me show you. I've got it sitting in front of me. If you're watching on video, I have my Focus Toast on my desk. This is the best money I've ever spent on Amazon. My Focus Toast light. Look at that. Focus Toast. It cracks me up. It's a little lamp. If you're listening on Spotify or not watching me, it's a little LED lamp and it's shaped like a toaster with a piece of toast. You turn it on and it's called Focus Toast. I use this to help me time block. Like I sit down. So for instance, when someone was packing orders for me for 3 hours, I've turned on my Focus Toast and I spent 3 hours of focus time on this project. Let me tell you the project, because I felt so good after doing this work. I spent those 3 hours refreshing all of the assets, the digital assets for my upcoming subscription box launch. I then also used all of those digital assets. I went ahead and built out 2 big meta campaigns to build my waitlist. I set a budget for $30 a day across both those campaigns that I'm going to spend over the next 2 weeks. I then went ahead and built those 2 campaigns out and thought about the type of objectives I want and what I want to test. I made sure the landing page was set. I made sure my flows off the back of that landing page were working and looking great. That's what I spent the 3 hours doing. I ended up with 12 assets in total to launch with meta ads to get my waitlist growing, to start getting leads and collecting leads from Meta for potential customers, potential subscribers, reoccurring revenue customers in my e-commerce store. That's what I set aside that 3-hour block of time to do. Couldn't have been a better use of my time, in my opinion. I managed some emails for a client last month, and I built 3 emails for them. It took a couple of hours because it's a new account and a new client, so I had lots of things to work out and to understand their brand voice and what they wanted to say. So it wasn't like an hour's worth of work. And I did that work for them. They paid me to do that work. And on the first email that I sent, they had a $1,700 order come through. $1,700 order on the first email I sent for that client with a brand new account. That was income generating for them, absolutely, by paying me to do that work because I'm looking after them for a month. And so that was one task out of the month that meant an immediate revenue bump for them. So busy work and building work are different things. Sometimes they're the same things, but they're different things. Let me flag with you quickly about my episode 10, what is really different from when I recorded that episode in 2022 versus today, March 2025. In that episode, I talk about organic social media, how it's a waste of your time. It's not income generating. It's actually just sucks your time. That is not true anymore. If you sit down and spend an hour creating content, scheduling it or publishing it on your organic social media channels, that is income generating in 2025. If you paid any attention to social media in the last few years, you know that the TikTokification of all social media platforms is getting bigger and bigger. This year, more than ever, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn will all start behaving far more like TikTok than they used to, which means you spending time on your social media this year is income generating because your post has far more likelihood of getting traction and getting results for you, not based on the number of followers you have, but based on the quality of that post alone. That means you could be spending money on Meta really strategically this year and funneling your budget towards content that's already done well for you organically. So if you sit down today and think, well, Rachel said in episode 10 that spending time on social media was a waste of time, not anymore. Sit down and spend a block of time this week on your organic social media. You will thank yourself because organic social media is now your testing ground to see what creatives, what captions resonate with your audience. Then you go back and you bump some budget behind it, chuck some cash at it, give Meta some money and start using those creatives and captions in ads. And you will spend less on Meta than maybe you are now, or what you are spending will be far more effective. You'll get better results for what you are spending because the creative is already qualified. If you schedule a post every day for the next month and then go back to those insights and pull the best performing posts and turn those into ads, then that is absolutely 100% income generating. So if you spend time on social media as an income generating, building your business activity, 100% gold star. Yes, that is definitely income generating. It is not busy work like it used to be. It used to be busy work. It's not busy work anymore. It really isn't. Not in 2025. It's worth your time. It will build your business. Let me quickly go through a list. I have a list of some things that are income generating, maybe aren't income generating. A list of things that maybe are busy work and a list of things that are building work for your small business. Let's have a look. We're going to try and shift our mindset here from busy to building. Busy to building. Think that in your head. I'm going from busy to building. Let's make sure the hours we spend are towards growth. Because if I sit down and spend 3 hours doing income generating $100 an hour activities, then guess what I'm going to do straight after? I'm going to take a well-earned break and I'm going to know that I put in the effort, that I spent some time on activities that will grow my business. And then I'll go and relax and take a break and enjoy my family and my home and my community obligations and all the other things I do with my time, like you do with your time as well. Okay, let's have a look. Let me have a look at the list. Let me go through some examples first of what isn't building but is more busy. And like I said, this doesn't mean these aren't important. These are all important things. They are not unimportant. It's just for the purpose of this episode when we want to think about what's worth my trade-off time in hours. For me personally, it was my trade-off time in paying somebody to do something in my business. What would I do with that time instead? These are the things I did not do, and you should probably not do either. If you are looking to have somebody do some work in your business on a contract basis, like me, doing your email or your Facebook, ads, what should you be doing instead? Probably not these things I'm going to list. Here we go. Not market research, not packing orders, not product research or not finding a new supplier or a new wholesaler, not launching a new collection. Well, that's different. Launching a new collection, yes. Launching, yes. The pre-work to that, nah, I'd say no. Not replying to comments on social media, again, important. I do that once a day. I try and do it twice a day, but I definitely set aside time once a day. Not SEO work, again, still really important in 2025, but not income generating, not worth $100 an hour for me to sit and do today. Not rearranging my office or rearranging my stock. Not updating my website. That's a big one. Hey, not updating the theme or playing around with different settings, not updating the website, not answering customer service emails. Those things are all busy things. They're important work. They will suck away your time. And when you set aside time to do those things, it's worth doing in your business. They need to be done, or somebody needs to be doing them if it's not you. But when you're sitting down to think about what building work can I do, then I did not want those things on my list. Let me give you the list of things I did have, which is heaps. I've got stacks of things on this list. I hope some of these you can take away and do for yourself today or tomorrow or next week. Yes, these things are income generating. And the first one is what I've already shared with you. I sat down and refreshed all the assets to build the waitlist towards my subscription box launch. I do this launch twice a year. I refreshed all the assets in Canva. I made sure the landing page was ready and refreshed. I updated the flow in Klaviyo, and I built all the ads in Meta and launched them all. So totally worthwhile. So that's sort of where I guess the difference between researching products and launching a collection is different. If you are sitting down and researching new products, no, not income generating. But if you have products sitting already on a shelf that are just gathering dust that need to be on your website, yes, get them on the website. Put them out there. That is the analogy. That is sort of a picture of the golf course scenario. If you've already got the stock sitting here and it's just not on your website, then your ball on the golf course is close to that hole. Just tap it in. Go and get them listed on your website. But if you haven't even got the stuff here to begin with, you don't know what you want, then that's a far bigger game. That's like the golf course game. That's like heading off to a new hole and starting from scratch. But this exercise is like what's the quick win almost? What is an easy win for your business in generating income? Another one that, yes, is income generating is it's not busy work. It will build your business, is an email flow. Set it up. If you have one, go back and look at the analytics and refresh it. Change the copy, delete the ones that aren't doing well. Go back to a campaign you sent recently that did do well. Save it as a template. Go back to your flow and add that standalone campaign into your email flow. That is definitely income generating work. That is building your business work. That is not busy work. Yes, organic social media, getting posts planned and recorded and design and schedule them out. Don't go looking for inspiration on this stuff. Go back and find posts you did 2 years ago and refresh them and schedule them. That is definitely worth your time. That's income generating. Next one, don't you want to feel more confident with where your meta ad dollars go? So if you are running some ads, go look at the analytics of them. Is there some new ones you should start? Then sit down in this time you've set aside, analyze the data, pull some crappy ones, launch new ones. And if you're not sure where to go back to your organic social media and find inspiration from what already performed well and use that as inspiration and build some new ads. Yes, that's building, that's income generating. Anything that gets more traffic to your website is income generating. Like get more people to your website, great ads, definitely. Yes, win-win, 100% do that. Oh, that's my next point. Build some ads to solve your very next problem of either traffic or conversion or repeat customers. So an example of this is with a client of mine, I am linking their Klaviyo with their Meta Ads account. So at the moment, their Klaviyo account and Meta Ads account aren't synced. They're not linked. So the benefit of doing this work, so this specific project of linking your Klaviyo with your Meta Ads account is income generating. In fact, you could go and do this work today or tomorrow or next week if you haven't already done so. Link your Klaviyo account with your Meta Ads account, because the client I'm doing this work for at the moment, in their Klaviyo account, their engaged segment that we use every week is about a third of their entire list. Their entire list, because we're using an engaged segment to reach out to them, how are the people who are unengaged going to hear from this brand? How are they going to hear from a brand if they are unengaged with their emails, which means they're not getting emails much at all from this brand? I'll tell you how: on Meta. They will see this brand when they scroll Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and all the other platforms linked with like Audience Network. By linking Klaviyo with Meta, you can now retarget your Klaviyo users with ads. This is perfect to re-engage unengaged profiles or re-engage unsubscribed profiles by getting them to come back to your website. If someone sees an ad on Meta and they were one of your unengaged Klaviyo profiles and they're like, oh, I forgot about this brand. Oh, I bought something from them a long time ago. They'll click on that ad. They suddenly become part of your Facebook engaged audience that you may retarget with ads. They may come to your website. They come to your website. What if they check out a product? Suddenly, they get caught up in your engaged Klaviyo segment for the next email you send. Then what if they see your pop-up? They decide to resubscribe. All of this is like good news, good news, good news, good news, worthwhile with your time. This job of linking Klaviyo and Meta may only take you 15 minutes or less. I mean, 15 minutes surely at the most. It's not going to take you long. And then you can go into Meta and build an ad and target these people and reach out to them with a very small budget that will cost you hardly anything to bulk up your engaged segment again on Klaviyo. So good, such worthwhile work. Totally building your business type task, not busy work at all. The next one is putting together some grab bags or some mystery bundles. Again, a bit like launching a collection versus researching it. If you're at the stage of launching the collection, then go ahead and just launch it. Put together those mystery bags and get them on the website. Do a Facebook Live, do a YouTube Live, go on TikTok and talk about it. That work is income generating. Just go ahead and do it. Find the stock. You've probably got it sitting around gathering dust. Put together some mystery bundles. Put together some grab bags. Get them on the website today. Talk about it on Facebook Live tomorrow or tomorrow night. Go on TikTok the next day. Send an email and do that work. That is income generating. The last one I want to share with you is invoicing clients. This was totally applicable to me earlier this week. I sent out my invoices to my clients that I support for March. And I did that work. I sat down. It was on my list. I thought, should I do that today? Oh, I can't be bothered to do it today. I'll do it another day. I thought, no, let's do it today. And I sat down and spent half an hour doing it. And I sent out 3 invoices. That's exactly income generating work. I just had to go into my software and generate the invoices and email them. That was absolutely worth half an hour of my time, but something that I put off, and you probably do too. I hope that list was helpful. There's some things for you to find to set aside some time for, or maybe some things you want to cross off your list on the no list if you're a bit inclined to lean towards those things when you know you could be doing some other work instead. Remember, doing the work that is income generating means taking a break later. I'm not talking about doing this 24/7. I'm really not a hustle culture person. It's like the opposite of my personality. But spend the time doing that income generating work in your block of time you set aside. Put your timer on. For me, I've got my little focus toast I've got turned on. Do that work, that important work, that $100 per hour work, and then take a break and congratulate yourself for a job well done. So thanks for hanging out with me in this episode today. Like, we are the CEO, this mindset work and evaluating the value of our time and what's important for us to do versus what's important for our staff or contractors to do is really critical, like really critical. So I encourage you to think about that deliberately this week in your own business and get yourself further towards that, that hole on the golf course that might be an easy win that you've been putting off or that needs to be done. Like, go ahead and do that work that's income generating, that's an easy win for your brand today. I'll see you next time in the episode. As always, keep learning.